Today, we are going to look at what is referred to as KPIs. KPIs stand for Key Performance Indicators, and it is a way of evaluating the performance of staff or other individuals, especially when it comes to like giving bonuses or giving allowances or giving awards to those who have done very well. So, how do we do key performance indicator analysis in Excel? It's a very simple thing, and we are going to use Power Pivot to be able to do that. So I'm going to my Excel right now. So my Excel is opening, and so just give it some few minutes. I have too many things running, so it's a little bit slow. So I'm going to a very new sheet, and then this is where we are. So um, if you're on Excel, if you open a sheet like this, already you should have had your data seated somewhere that you are going to use, and then you should make sure that the data is what is put in one folder or it is in one book with different sheets. So either way, it is fine. You can have different sheets containing different data, or you can have different data sets, but you put them in one single folder, and then that is how it is. So now when we come here, if we check on our ribbon or on the tabs, we can see I have Power Pivot on top here. Maybe if you are watching and you don't know where to get Power Pivot, you may because Power Pivot in it doesn't come automatically. You have to activate it. So we come to your file, go to options, see add-ins. Then once we check here, you can see Power Pivot for Excel. You come down to here, manage Excel add-ins. But Power Pivot comes under Comms add-in. Click on Comms add-in and click on Go. So you can see Microsoft Power Pivot around here. Then you check it and then come and click OK. I've already got it, so I will just click like this. So now, if you are here, the next thing is to come and click on Power Pivot, and then you can see Manage. Go and click on the Manage and wait a little bit. So this is going to launch the Power Pivot ribbon, and so just wait a little bit. Yeah, the Power Pivot ribbon is launched. So we have the next thing is to look for where our data is. And so you come here, you have from database, no. From data services, no. From other sources, yeah. Mostly, yeah, if you have other sources. But if you have already created some connections, you can use this. I'll be talking about those ones later. So let's click on other sources. And then our data from the other sources, we can see different sources, SQL, what Azure, and then all of that. These are sources where we can also get the data from Microsoft Access. So if you know how to use Microsoft Access, it's actually a database you used to what. So you can scroll all the way. You can see that from Excel files or text files. So it can be Excel file, it can be a text file. So that will be tab delimited files that you have used. Let's say something like Notepad to be able to generate it. So our data is from Excel. So I'll click here and come and click next. And you see that it's going to so friendly connection name, that's Excel. So we can browse and look for where the data is. So I'm going to go to my local computer and look for where it is. And so as you can see, Power Pivot data, I've already labeled it Power Pivot data. And as you can see, it comes as a book. It's a book that has different sheets, but automatically Power Pivot will recognize each sheet as a data set on its own. So I'll just click on that and come and click open. Then the next thing is use first row as column headers. So you should have checked your data to know if the data has headers automatically. Mine has, so I'll check here. And then I'll now come and click next. And you notice that it has picked all the data. So I'm going to click here and highlight all of them, but I don't need a cover page. So I have employee, I have salary bracket, I have transactions. And then the next thing is to come and click finished. And you notice that all the data sets have marked So which is okay. So when you are done, the next thing you just click close, and that is it. So you notice that the data has been imported into the Power Pivot, what a ribbon. So here you have your employee. If you come and click here, you have your salary bracket, and then we have our transactions. Now let's look at something. Under the employee, this is the staff ID, this is the name, these are their email, country, age, level, and then in the order. So their employees are level one, level two, and then in that order. So let's look at salary bracket. So if, like say, employee level one, analysts, and the years of experience zero, salary, it means he hasn't done up to 1 year. Base salary, bonuses, then in that order. Now let's come and look at all the transactions. These are customers. So it means they actually, maybe they sell cars, and these are different brands of cars, and then you can see the sale prices, and then the sale costs, and then the staff ID. So these are the sales agents, those are the staff, and each staff and how much they are able to sell the car. They don't have the cars with them. What they do is like online. So you manage to negotiate and somebody goes to pay. And then, so if you're going to pay the staff, the one who actually is doing the sales, that's the staff ID, which is here. That's the employee. So when you have the data like this, at the moment, you need to make sure that you establish connections. At the moment, each of them are standing distinct. Here, they are just standing alone. This the salary bracket to alone and transactions to alone. So you need to connect the data in order to be able to let them talk to each other. Each of the table have to talk to each other. And to do that, you check on the Power Pivot ribbon to your far right. You can see a diagram view. And so we are currently in the data view. See, it is highlighted. So let's click on the diagram view. And then you notice that you're going to have the three sheets now becoming like different tables. So I'm going to drag this a little bit so that we show all the field. So I also drag this one a little bit. Then just bring this one a little bit down. Drag this. The reason why we drag this to open it up is maybe you have another field which is hiding. And so the next thing is to establish connections. So what is found in one, if the fields are related, then you link them up. So we can see staff ID here, and then there's also staff ID over there. So it means they are related. So I'm going to just click and hold and drag it and come here. So once you see that it has been actually, so it's actually one is too many. You can see one here, see asterisks here. So the next thing is let's check this table. You can see level here, and you can also see employee level here. So I'm going to drag that, come to level here, and then and that's it. So it's also one too many. And so in that case, we've actually established all the connections. We don't have anything again. All the tables are connected. If the tables are connected like this, it becomes very easy. And each time you have the connection, you can actually right click on the connection and delete it. All right. So just point to the connection like this, and then you can delete it. And then, so the connection is gone. So again, I can simply come here and then establish the connection once more. And it's still the same thing. So now, after we are done like this, the next thing is to look at the data view. So you come and click on data view, and you see that all the data come down here. So if it's like this, so which means we can now perform a little bit of some kind of I don't have to go to this one or this one or that one. Anywhere at all I go, I am able to talk to the data. So if I come here, let's say that we want to, look at the profit. This is the sales and this is the cost. So the profit here. But remember, in Power Pivot, it doesn't work directly like the way Excel works. You can't type formula in any cell. This is formulas are always typed in the function bar or the formula bar on top there. So if I click here, I can just put equal sign. And so we all know that profit is usually equal to sales minus what cost. Or the total, what is it, sales and the total cost. So I'm going to come there and then we'll come and then start this one first. You see that it select the entire column. I'll bring my minus sign and then also come and select the whole of this column. And then that is all. So just tap enter and it will calculate the total profit for each of them. How, yeah, it takes a little while and then we're good to go. But what about if we wanted to know the employee here? Who is this? This is the employee ID, but who is that particular employee? We had already seen them, so we don't want to associate all the employees who are responsible for all of this, and then in that order, because we have their IDs for now. So to do that, we can simply come again and use the function related, and then just use your tab key, and then we can come here and click on employee, use your tab key to complete it, and then close the bracket up, and then it will simply allocate or identify which particular employee the person is. So it takes time. So this particular employee ID here, 10011 is actually Sarah, 10013 is actually Jones, and then in that order. So you can see the employee. So now we have our total profit, and then in that order. Now, to be able to do key performance indicator analysis or to use key performance indicators, we use totals. Totals are used. So we need to have total profit and then maybe total sales and total cost in the case we want to look at. But in our case, let's just look at total profit and then total sales. I think that's what is important. So, but before then, this is just a calculated column. It has no. So let's come to the column and double click there and then change it to what profit. And then tap enter and then come to the next column here, double click on the column header, and then that's supposed to be employee name. So I'm just going to say employee name over there, tap enter. So the next thing to do, yeah, the next thing to do is to calculate, to just do a key performance, what we call measures. Measures is what we use to be able to do KPIs, key performance indicators. A measure is like total profit, total sales. So how do we calculate total profit and total sales? So we come down to any of the cells below, just click there like this, and then start typing equal sign. Is talking about this cell we have just clicked down there. And so we are looking at to calculate total profit is sum. So use your tab key to finish it. And we are looking for what total profit. So profit field is here. Remember, it's a table. So that's why you see the square bracket around it. So I'll use the tab key to simply enter it. And because it's a function, we have to close it up. I'll just close it up and tap enter. It takes a little while in some cases, and so it has calculated it, but the column is too narrow. So I'm just going to shape the column a little bit like this. And so you can see the measure. It will refer to it as measure one. So we have to rename it, and you cannot rename anything on this particular cells. So you come to the formula bar here and then do the rename there. Click there and delete the measure and now call it total profit. Total profit. And then tap enter. And you can see the measure it will reflect in the measure here. See that it's now total profit. We come to an empty one again and say we want total sales. So, and our total sales too, we are going to use the function again sum. And then, so we'll look for the sales part. Where can we find sales? Yeah, sales price is here. I'll use my tab key and then just close it up. Sorry, just close it up and then tap enter to calculate our total sales, because that's what we are going to use to be able to do the key performance indicators. So we are going to talk about that's our total revenue. So I can give it total sales or total revenue. So I will just prefer total sales and tap enter. Or other than that, Power Query will always give them measures, measure one, measure two in that order. So I come to the next one, and then I'm going to call it that will be the total cost. And so the sum function again, you tap enter, and then let's look for sales. So that is costs. Use tab key, and then just and then we're going to calculate that. I'll come to this point, and then simply say that will be total costs. Total costs. Okay, and then tap enter. So our key performance indicators are going to be based on this, on what we have just calculated, the total profit, total sales, and then total costs. And so to be able to do the key performance indicators, we need a power pivot, or sorry, a pivot table. And if you check on the ribbon, you can see a pivot table around here. So we simply come and click on pivot table, and then it's going to ask us whether a new sheet or existing one. I think we should do it on the existing one. I'll click here and just click OK. And so we can see all the tables are linked together, which is now on the right hand side. So the key performance indicators, we just want to know which of the employees is doing well, is bringing more revenue. So I'm going to come down here and then pick employee, either employee name. And you can see all the employee, their names are here. So based on what? Let's look for employee in terms of let's look for employee in terms of profit. Which of the employees is bringing in more profit? So the profit will come to the values. And you can see this is now the employees here, and this is where we now apply the KPIs. And when you check on the ribbon, you will see that because we are working on Power Pivot, you can see we have KPI, that's key performance indicators, which are there. So, uh, so based on that, we simply now that we are going to calculate our KPI based on which of the employees is bringing more uh, profit. So we've already also done the profit here. The employee names are here. So we can simply come and click on the KPIs, and we say a new KPI. So you're going to see all of this appearing over there. But in KPI, in key performance, you have to have a target. Well, so let's say the company already said that if you're able to bring 25,000 in what is in profit, then that's a good one. Anything below that may be a warning, and way below that may be something like maybe exit. You are not performing, so you may be asked to. So because I've done total profit, you can see that the KPI has already identified total profit as my key. That I would have clicked on this and then select other total sales. You see that profit because profits on the values. So when we come here, we can actually say measure. Click here, and then we have total sales, total cost. But in our case, let's look for an absolute value because we want to say that anybody who was able to bring in 25,000, then the person did well. So when you type 25,000, come and click down here. So I have my 25,000. So if I come and click on this, so you notice that you can see, come and click on this bar. So you notice you can see that that is the target. The target is, you can see where the target line is. That's where the 25,000 is. So let's shift this particular thing that's looking like a filter all the way up to the 25,000. So we are 25,000 here. Anybody that perform above that will get a green. Anybody, and we're also saying that any performer that is around 10,000 is red. Anything between 10,000 and 25,000 is yellow. If we want, we can shift this and say that, okay, we want anybody that's able to perform. If you still perform somewhere around, let's say 12,700, let's put it at 13,000. If you perform somewhere around 13,000, then you should be asked to leave. But anything between 13 and 25, then you are given a warning. Now, after that, we can actually come and choose any of this as our indicators. So let me choose this one. So it means when you see red, you also see cross over there. When you see yellow, you also see warning over there. When you see green, you see a tick marked. It means the person has performed above 25,000. And so that is all. So we come and click like this. But at the moment, you are going to see just you're going to see something like this 1 0 and then in that order. You won't see all of that unless you come down. You won't see all those colors that I showed you. So you have to come back to your field. You have to come back to your field here and come and see. You see that the key performance indicator total profit has been highlighted because that's what we are basing our KPIs on. So you click on that, it also becomes a table, and then uncheck the status, and then come and check this, check that, and then check the status. Now go back and uncheck the goal and check this, and then what did we say? Now the goal, what it means is that our goal is 25,000. So we compare the goal to the what the person has performed, and then you can simply. So if we want, I can uncheck everything, then check the goal first, then bring the statue. So this is the goal set aside. Yeah, so that's 25,000. And this person performed way above 25,000. And so he got a tick. This one performed 22,000, not too bad, but not satisfactory. And then this person, for instance, performed below 25,000, which is the goal. And that's why you have a red tick over there. And then that's it. So this is what we call the key performance indicators. And that's how KPIs are being calculated. If you want to also do another KPI for another part, let's say for sales, so this for profit, but which of them is making more sales? You see, it's bringing more revenue in terms of sales. Because some people are very good at selling, but they are very bad at negotiating. So they buy at a higher cost and they are also able to sell it. So let's look at to do that, you can simply just highlight the whole of this, copy it, then move to a next cell, and then paste it as and then I'm just going to, and then this time around, we are going to, what is it, pick all of this out. So we drop all of them out, and we are going to look for total sales, total sales. So we come to transaction here and say, and look for where total sales are. So we have total sales, which is here. So I'm going to move the total sales to the employee section. And then we can see it is the employee section is over there. So now when we come here again, come and click on KPI and say new KPI. So the new KPI, we come to absolute value and say that how much sale can we consider to be a very good sale? Let's make it 50,000. 50 minus 500, 5,000, 50,000. Then come and click on this bar again, and you can see the target is here, 50,000. So shift this particular one up to that point. And then we can also say that anybody who sells 20,000 and below hasn't done well. Or we can say 23,000. Now let's come and choose the same thing, or maybe this time around, let's choose this traffic light indicators. And then that's all. So we click on this, and we can we'll always see this 1 1. Come back to that point and scroll down so you can see total sales and the K, and then you will see this traffic light kind of symbol telling you that we are calculating KPIs based on total sales. So you click on that, and then come and remove the status here. And now, what was our goal? 50,000. And now we'll check the status so we can see wherever the colors are, then in that order. So this particular person here, Sam, sold with 20,000, which is way below. And you see that it's red, so it's not making good sales. The rest are making good sales, and then in that order. But either in this particular pivot or the other one thing is that this person has a tick. Okay, so let's come to the first one here in terms of the profit. Alex has a blue tick, a green tick, as well as Mike and as well as Sarah. But which of them did actually better than the other? So in that case, you come to and then highlight the whole of this. Oh, sorry, and then highlight the whole of this. Come to your home tab and then use conditional formatting and come and then look at color scale. So even though they use this particular color scale, now when you check, even though Alex has let's say green tick, Mike has a green tick, but you can see Mike own is the green is way deeper. Then Sarah also has, it's not all that green, but he's just a little bit above the warning zone, and that's why they got this. If you don't want it that way, you can actually change the conditional formatting, clear the rules here, clear all the rules, and then come again and then give it data bars. That way, we can actually see who has done better than the other. Or the solid bars here. Yep. So I prefer this, and then we can see. So we can see that the bars are actually clear for us to see who has done better. We can do the same thing for this point, and then we see even though all of them are green, 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 but some have done better. So you can just highlight all of them, come to conditional formatting, and let's say we are giving it maybe data bars again. So that is much more distinct than in that order. So even though all of them have tick green based on the the value that we set, the target that we set, you can see that Mike did well in terms of sales, and then followed by Sarah, and then followed by Alex, then in that order. However, Sam hasn't done well in terms of sales and hasn't also done well in terms of profit generation. And so this is how key performance indicators are calculated using Power Pivot in Excel. I hope this has been useful, and I hope you enjoy it. If you like the videos, please share for other people to also learn. Thank you. I'll see you in another video where I will do much more deeper analysis of how we use the Power Pivot for all kinds of analysis in Excel. Thank you. I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.